seated.
Good evening, everyone. Call this work session of the Columbia County Board of Education to order and welcome all who are present this evening. On behalf of the board, Superintendent Flint, we appreciate your involvement in our school district and your time here tonight. The second board meeting of each month is dedicated to a work session where members of the board, the superintendent, and select members of the cabinet discuss important topics related to student achievement and effective operation and management of the school district. To ensure that the work session meetings go smoothly, professionally, and efficiently, we ask that everyone maintain an appropriate level of decorum at all times. Please abstain from any conduct that would be disruptive or disrespectful. We ask our students and families and those who joined us this evening to remain until all acknowledgments and board comments have been made. Thereafter, we will take a short break to dismiss those participating in this portion of the meeting if you wish to leave. At this time, please silence your cell phones or other communication devices. And again, thank you for attending our work session. At this time, I would like to call upon St. Teresa of Avila Catholic Church Deacon Glenn Garrison to lead us in the invocation. Thank you, sir.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, I thank you for allowing me to share your word and your truth. In my preparation for this prayer, a verse from Philippians kept coming into view. So by your gift, Lord, I share with you all in prayer. Have no anxiety at all, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. And the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and mind in Christ Jesus. In my prayer for the board and those who would speak tonight, I pray that you may receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit, wisdom, knowledge of divine things, understanding, the ability to see higher truths, counsel, to let your actions be guided by God, fortitude, to be able to do good things even when they are difficult, knowledge, the ability to judge correctly, piety, revering God, and fear of the Lord, fear to avoid separating ourselves from God. Help us, Lord, to do these things. Strengthen our faith and guide us in the way that we should go. We ask for all these gifts in your holy name, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Next, we are honored to have the 4-H presidents of Uchi Creek Elementary School here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I would like to call them forward and introduce them. All right, if y'all turn around and face the audience, let me introduce you. When I call your name, if you will take a step forward, and if your parents or family members are here, if they will stand also so that we can recognize them. Barrett Allen, Harper Beaver, and Timothy Williams. Give these folks a big hand. And the 4-H club presidents, if y'all will turn around and face our flag, and if everyone will stand.
Motion to approve the agenda?
All in favor? Opposed? All right, the agenda is approved 4-1. This time, we'll turn it over to Dr. Flint for a special recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. Good evening and welcome. We're glad you're all here to join us, and we're looking forward to celebrating with you this evening. And we've got so many great recognitions and celebrations, and looking forward to taking that time with you. First, I want to start with a special recommendation, and this is what we do as we appoint new leaders in the district. This time, I'd like to call forward our candidate for Grovetown Elementary Principal, Ms. LaToya Jackson Barnett. Let me tell you a little bit about Ms. Jackson Barnett. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, a Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from American Intercontinental University, an Educational Specialist degree in Curriculum and Instruction from Cambridge College, and currently pursuing her Doctor of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from American College of Education. She began teaching 27 years ago as a 5th grade teacher in Florida and moved to Columbia County in 2004, where she taught 1st grade at Uchee Creek, Cedar Ridge, and Baker Place for 10 years. In 2015, she accepted a teaching position at Columbia Middle School, where she taught 6th grade math and social studies and was also named Teacher of the Year. In 2016, she transferred to Cedar Ridge Elementary and became an instructional specialist, a position she held for 3 years before being promoted to assistant principal at Baker Place Elementary in 2019, where she served for 4 years. In 2024, Ms. Jackson Barnett accepted a position at Greenbrier High School as their assistant principal, where she currently serves. She's completed the assistant principal induction course in 2020 and the Aspiring Principals Academy in 2025. And you probably noticed she had experience at all levels, which we don't see all the time, and done a great job at all of those levels. So we're really looking forward to that. Joining Ms. Jackson Barnett this evening, and I'll call you out if you don't mind. We'd like to celebrate you being here. If you'll stand for us, and there may be others if other folks showed up. Y'all wave for us too. Her husband David, her daughters Jade and Jazz, her mom Susie Jackson, and her grandchildren Jinx and Sage Wiggins. And anybody else here supporting her, y'all go ahead and stand up and let us celebrate y'all being with us. Board members, I present to you our candidate for Grovetown Elementary Principal, Ms. LaToya Jackson Barnett.
Ms. LaToya Jackson Barnett, welcome. That's an impressive resume, and I will entertain a motion to approve that recommendation.
I make a motion to approve the recommendation by Dr. Flint for Grovetown Elementary School Principal.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Welcome to the team. Grovetown Elementary is going to have a great leader.
Congratulations.
And at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Casado forward to help me with the first special recognition, and then it'll be Mr. Cummings right after that.
Good evening. All right, tonight we would like to recognize the Exchange Club of Columbia County for their support of the district-wide Freedom Shrine project, which is fitting given our recent recognition of Constitution Day. Freedom Shrines are a visual display of U.S. founding documents such as the Declaration of Independence and Constitution, and an example can be seen on the slide here before you. The Exchange Club is responsible for Freedom Shrines across the school district. During the 24-25 school year, the Exchange Club helped supply 3 more of our schools with Freedom Shrines and is partnering with the Columbia County School District Foundation to supply 3 additional shrines this school year. The goal is to have a Freedom Shrine in all Columbia County schools, and we anticipate every school in the district will have a Freedom Shrine within the next 2 to 3 years. Additionally, the Exchange Club spearheads several annual campaigns that aid Columbia County School District students including the back-to-school drive that the club hosted at the start of this school year, where school supplies were collected for students. The Exchange Club also funds an annual scholarship program that supports our students as well. The Columbia County School District is proud to recognize the Exchange Club of Columbia County as a long-standing and generous community partner. At this time, I would like to ask representatives from the Exchange Club of Columbia County to come forward to be recognized. At this time, I'll turn it over to Associate Superintendent Steve Cummings to continue tonight's special recognitions.
Thank you, Mr. Casado. As we continue our special recognitions this evening, we are thrilled to spotlight a group of extraordinary drummers whose rhythm, precision, and dedication set them apart. These talented students rose to the top in the Summer Drum Corps International Challenge, demonstrated not only their technical excellence, but also an inspiring commitment to their craft. Once they passed the initial round of auditions last September, they had to maintain the skill challenges to stay in the program. In November, candidates attended their first audition camp, followed by monthly rehearsal camps throughout the off-season. Those selected began intensive trainings in late April and performed at the prestigious DCI Summer Tour, an achievement that reflected exceptional dedication and talent. These drummers are truly the best of the best. To our students and advisors, please come forward when your name is called and remain until a photo is taken. Also, we ask that family members who support these students, if you would stand to be recognized as well. Principals, we also invite you to join your students when they are called. From Greenboro High School, Rigel Cotis. Also, Marcus Snyder. I'd like to recognize their band directors, Dr. Brian Toney and Rutledge Borkins. Mr. Ford, who's come join us as well. Give them another round of applause. From Harlem High School, Aiden McMullen. Also, Kieran McMullen. And directors Mr. Curtis Carter and Principal Casey Dees, if you would come forward as well. Another round of applause, please. From Lakeside High School, Hendrick Chitty. Also like to recognize Rand Sano. The band directors are Mr. Jared Best and Jonathan Whitmer. Also, Principal King, if you could join us as well. Congratulations to all of our students. This concludes our special recognitions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. This time, our board would like to respond with some comments. Let me start with, my right, Ms. Judy Teasley.
This is part of the meeting that is the nicest and most fun, most enjoyable, and where we get to thank everybody for all your outstanding efforts. Mrs. Jackson Barrett, did I say that right? Okay, Barnett, Barnett, thank you, sorry. Congratulations, and I don't know whether it's more impressive that you survived 10 years in the first grade or 6th grade math, or that you have survived at Greenbrier with the crew there. You're excluded. I just know who she works with out there. But that's outstanding. I think it's great experience, and I have no doubt that you will do well at Grovetown Elementary. So we're glad to have you. For our 4-H presidents, it's good to have y'all back. Thank you so very much. And Exchange Club, we are grateful for all of your efforts. Freedom Shrine is a great addition to any school. I like the new version. It looks much better on the walls. It's easier to keep those plaques straight than it was the original. The numerous plaques that were somehow always a little bit lopsided. So these included documents we need to be reminded of, and a much easier way to keep them straight. So thank you all very much for your efforts, not only in this, but in the scholarships that you provide in the spring. We appreciate those too. They're very much needed and very much appreciated. And drum corps, that's not really prevalent in this part of the country, but if you've never been to a drum corps competition, you need to make it to one. It is more than impressive. So students, thank you very much for your efforts. These students practice for hours in the sun when it's hot, wearing instruments that don't breathe. They're not natural fabrics. In fact, when they remove the instruments, you can typically see tan lines where the instruments were. And when they move on grass or on turf, you would swear that they're part of a well-choreographed ballet. It is truly impressive. So thank you all very much. Thank you, parents, for seeing that students get where they need to be. Thank you, sponsors, for pouring into them. Thank you, sir, for our invocation tonight, and thank you all very much for your efforts. Thank you to our staff who is here every day, day in and day out, making all this possible and getting coordinated. We are blessed for all of your efforts, and thank you all very much.
Thank you, Ms. Teasley. Mr. Phil Kent.
Apologize, the little Harper drum running over on the way in the door here. Good job on the pledge. Congratulations, Ms. Jackson Barnett. Exchange Club, thank you for all you do. Makes me proud to be a fellow Exchangeite. And I really want to see a drum off between this wind and Harlem.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ms. Christy Baker.
Well, thank y'all for your comments, and I'll add a little bit to it. Thank you, Deacon Garrison, for your opening remarks on the invocation. We're normal people up here. I mean, we take everything at heart. We have passion for up here. We all, are public school advocates, and sometimes the anxiety and the stress and the emotions that come with our position are quite anxious and stressful. So thank you for your opening invocation. Do appreciate that. It was well accepted by me, and I appreciate that. To our principal, who's going to be at Grovetown Elementary, thank you so much for all you've done. You've got a great resume, and we're so excited to see great things from you. And it looks like you've got a great family support, so y'all keep supporting her. It's a tough job, but we're so excited to see her excel and move on up. Sounds like you've had a lot of experience in the instructional coach, specialist, sorry about that. And your leadership, so we look forward to seeing great things from you. To our 4-Hers, thank you for leading us in the pledge. We appreciate that, and we consider y'all leaders, so we look forward to seeing you move on up and up middle school and high school, being leaders at your schools and for others that are there. So thank you, parents, for instilling the value of public education in your children. We do appreciate that. I wanted to hear a beat from the drum line, or call it drum line. The drummers, did y'all go to Atlanta for that? Is that where you competed this year, or where was competition? Was it Atlanta? Indianapolis, oh wow, thank y'all so much for what you do, and maybe someday we can get them up here and they can show us what they do. So I agree, I think it'd be fun to see that. For the Freedom Shrine, thank you so much. Do we have one in this building? Maybe we can get one here, so we appreciate that. So, but thank you for all that you do, and I think that's.
Thank you, Ms. Baker, and Ms. Katie Allen.
All right, well, I echo what the other board members said. Congratulations, Ms. Jackson Barnett. We're looking forward to great things from you. And Deacon Glenn, thank you for sharing the beautiful scripture. That's a good one to be reminded of. 4-H'ers doing a great job with the Pledge of Allegiance. I know it's scary being up here, but y'all did great. Also, Freedom Shrine, I echo Ms. Baker. I would absolutely love to see one here. That's a wonderful thing, and I'm excited to see it rolling out in the schools. So thank you for all those leading the effort on that. Drum Corps International, way to go. It's good to see you up here. And the times that I do get to watch the drums play at the marching band events, it really is always amazing. So great job doing all that hard work. And I have to give a special thank you to Mr. Carver. He's mentored my daughter for 4 years in marching band. He's grown the Harlem program, absolutely amazing work, so dedicated. And partially because of his leadership, my daughter is going to college next year to be a music performance major. So the work that our teachers do really do not only touch the students, but touch the parents behind the students, as I know you all can attest to here as parents. So thank you, Mr. Carver, Mr. Dees, for the support I know that you give behind the scenes, and the administration, and also to students and parents who are working hard in the schools.
Thank you very much. I agree with all those comments, and thank y'all for being here and for giving us the opportunity to celebrate you and your achievements. They inspire us each and every day. This time, we'll take a short recess and allow those who wish to leave to exit to their right. Let's come back to order. Turn back over to Dr. Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're at that point in the agenda for the approval of the consent items. We recommend approval at this time.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Any discussion? Yes, I have concerns about the accuracy of the meeting minutes and the financials, so I'd like to remove these two items and discuss them separately.
Okay. Then let's have an amended motion to approve consent items. Let's see, that would be C, D, E, and F. To approve those, and then we'll take the others up separately.
I make a motion to approve consent items C, D, E, and F.
Okay, all in favor of that motion, raise your right hand. Okay. All right. Now, someone would like a motion to approve the minutes from September 9th, regular session.
Make a motion to approve minutes from September 9th.
All right. Any discussion?
At our last meeting, and the reason why I wanted to pull this aside was I was The board had a discussion about the procedures for challenging the media center materials, and there was a presentation by Ms. Leanne Gregg, and none of this was included in the agenda for the last meeting, and it's also not reflected in the minutes. In fact, we as a board didn't even know it was going to be discussed until we saw the folders at our desks. So I'm just wanting to open up a discussion as far as at what point do we put things in the agenda that we're going to discuss and have presentations on? At what point do they need to be in the meeting minutes if we have a discussion about it? I would just like some clarification about how that discussion, since it, was a robust discussion, how it will be documented in our meeting records.
Are you making a motion to, or are you saying that something should be added to the minutes from September 9th?
I can do a motion, yeah. Or if it doesn't need to be there for other purposes, some clarification on why it's not there.
I have no idea.
Don't our minutes meet the requirements as prescribed by law?
They do. We added those under superintendent report, so that would be an item that I presented that evening.
Is there an issue adding them,
Do we add all of the superintendent reports to it? I don't think we have, because there's no approval on those, so, and we do a lot of them, other than when we get into the bids, and we have those listed separately, and that's why, because there's no official action taken. So once we take action, if it's just an informational item, they don't get added.
So where would that be listed in the superintendent reports? Because I know they're itemized, and that was the first one, but I don't see that listed as an item in the meeting minutes.
The school year update is where I give anything other than what's listed on the agenda. So topics that may come up, and I think that evening it came up because we had a number of constituent concerns. And so we heard from them, and so I was given an update under the school year update because we've gotten a lot of feedback.
So that school year update, that can include presentations on a number of topics, and then it's not itemized on the agenda as that particular topic, and then we don't put it in the meeting minutes.
Well, we would put it in the meeting notes if I asked, or as an agenda item, I would probably ask for you to amend the agenda if there was a need to take action on something, but there wasn't any action. We would just give it an update.
Okay. Quick advice. So I guess under that, I would move to amend the minutes to add a note that there was a discussion that took place regarding the media center policies and procedures.
Any objection?
Sorry, I'm not.
Will you say that again?
I move to amend the meeting minutes to include that there was a board discussion and district presentation on the media center policies and procedures.
You're talking about the meeting minutes from the last meeting, or you're talking about all the minutes?
The minutes that we're approving right now that summarize what we discussed last meeting, I'm moving to add that to it so that there's a record that we have that discussion for the public.
I make a motion to go through that.
You mean a second?
I'm in the motion.
I'll say that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Oh, I have no problem with that. Any opposed? Okay.
What was it?
It was, you voted for him
I voted in favor.
All right, and so that's as amended, and we have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting as amended. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, so the minutes from the last meeting as amended are approved. All right, the second matter is the August financials. Do you have a motion to approve the August financial?
I moved.
Any discussion?
So the reason why I pulled this one aside was I noticed that from the July financials to the August financials, the budgeted amount for local sources changed from $157,655,000 to now, as of the August financials, it's reflecting that our budget for that category changed to $153,755,000, so it's about a $4 million difference roughly. And my questions on that are, where's the budget amendment document? Don't we need to vote on a budget amendment for the budget to be amended?
Mr. Casada, can you enlighten?
If I'm not mistaken, that was in consent items 2 months ago, or 2 meetings ago, excuse me. And it had to do with the adjustment to property tax ad valorem property tax revenue when you, as a board, approved the rollback rate, which brought in slightly lower revenue, as we know, than initially budgeted.
Okay, great, thank you. I can look back to that. And my follow-on question is there a way that we can communicate these budget changes to the public either? Because I know last year when we closed out the budget, our original budget that was published on the website for the public to have access to was not the same as the budget we ended the year with because we do amendments throughout the year. So is there a way that we can better document that for the public for when they go to pull the budget and view it, the one that's originally approved? Is there a way to either document those changes or document, this is the second version of the budget that's changed? How can we communicate that to the public so that they can watch their budget change throughout the year as we make these amendments? Is there any interest in doing it differently? Maybe I should start there.
I have no interest in changing our procedures because I think they're very good and I think we're very transparent. All the information is available to the public. All they have to do is ask for it. You have the information, so if anybody contacts you and wants the information, you can provide it. So I'm not sure that your comment is even germane to your motion. But now that you've had your questions, can we approve the financial 8B as listed? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? All right, those financials are approved.
Okay, thank you, board members. I think that takes care of the consent items. We do have one topic under discussion topics and presentations. That is the Inspire School Spotlight, which is new this year. Tonight we're going to be talking about Blue Ridge Elementary. And I'm not going to give away all the excitement that they're going to present, but we're going to start with the Associate Superintendent for Blue Ridge, Ms. Kristen Carroll, and then we'll move on to others from Blue Ridge Elementary, and I'll let you introduce everybody. I'll go ahead and introduce the staff reports. That way I don't need to keep going up and down because the staff report is around special education. We'll start out with the beginning of a presentation from our Chief Academic Officer, Ms. Leanne Gregg, and then we'll move to the Director of Special Education, Mr. Schwartz Pritchett. And then I'll be back up to do a couple of bid results. So thank y'all so much. We're very proud of Blue Ridge and all that you've accomplished the last couple of years. I will say that. I won't give away all the excitement you're going to talk about, but we're so glad you're here. We're going to celebrate with you tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm really excited tonight to share we are spotlighting schools each month who are inspiring achievement in the Columbia County School District. We're celebrating not only the initiatives and programs in our schools, but also the people who bring the learning to life and inspire achievement and growth in our students. Tonight, we're spotlighting Blue Ridge Elementary School to celebrate all the great work they are doing to increase student achievement and create a culture of excellence in their school. We will show you a short video highlighting Blue Ridge, and then you will hear from Assistant Principal Jessica Williams and Erica Cox, who is a teacher at Blue Ridge as well.
Blue Ridge is a family. The staff and students group all bond together to get the job done each day to ensure our students are growing and being successful, but we do it and approach it as a family. family. We collaborate as a team, whether that's administrators, teachers, even families when it's appropriate, to use data to drive the planning and to ensure that when we're looking at that data, that we're actually focusing on each individual student and what it is they need to grow and be successful. The students, actually. The students inspire me with their persistence with problem solving, their critical thinking, and what I love most is that they just don't want the answer to a question, they want to ask more questions. They want to know how, they want to know why. I love giving my students opportunities to engage with hands-on exploration tasks. Anytime they have their hands onto something, they're able to internalize that at such a deeper level, but it also allows them to make connections to what they see in the world, to other content in the classrooms, and so it's really all those pieces coming together that makes a difference for their learning, because they're able to connect it and then take it back to the classroom or the test or whatever recall they have to have. But often they explore further, and so they have a deeper understanding than just the basic knowledge of the standards. So when they get back to an assessment, that's actually easy for them because they've taken themselves so much further. Our teachers rise to the occasion. There's a lot of the challenges that occur on a regular basis, but they're never distracted or disturbed by that. They just do whatever it takes to ensure that our students are successful and that we grow our school population to be the best that it can be.
Thank you to the board for allowing me to speak tonight to highlight Blue Ridge Elementary, where I have the honor of being the assistant principal under Principal Bridget Pyatt. Pablo Picasso said, "Inspiration exists, but it has to find us working." At Blue Ridge Elementary, students, faculty, and families work together to inspire daily. Our school's purpose statement is learning for life every day. Our direction statement is empowering and inspiring all learners to excel in a global society. These statements allow us to work towards the county's mission statement to provide each student with challenging content in a supportive environment, resulting in increased academic achievement through shared accountability. Blue Ridge is a Title I distinguished school and a PBIS distinguished school. In 2024, we earned a CCRPI score of 93.1. Our English language arts growth was 4 points higher than the previous year, with 7 out of our 8 ELA subgroups meeting target growth. 84% of our 3rd through 5th grade students are reading at or above grade level. Our Closing the Gap score was 95.8%. This provides evidence that students are making gains to close achievement gaps. Blue Ridge earned a 5-star climate rating. We have also earned the National Junior Beta Club School of Merit recognition since 2018. We currently have 23 gifted endorsed teachers, 8 ESOL endorsed teachers, and 26 of our teachers have advanced degrees. This demonstrates our belief in the importance of ongoing education and our commitment to continuous growth through knowledge building and development of lifelong learners. Thank you, board members, for allowing us and providing in-county opportunities to earn these endorsements. We also understand the importance of looking beyond numbers and data. We focus on how to reach each student best, building on their talents and their interests. We view learning as opportunities both inside and outside of the classroom, integrating fine arts and providing extra opportunities through clubs and events at BRE. Collaboration is at the heart of our success. During grade level collaborative planning, teachers and administrators come together to share ideas, refine strategies, and build a unified approach to instruction. These sessions foster a spirit of teamwork and innovation, creating a school-wide culture where every staff member is invested in every student's success. Ms. Fryer, a 1st grade teacher and former Columbia County Teacher of the Year, says, The connections we build at VRE are so evident. You consistently see past and current students alike visiting teachers and relishing in meaningful relationships. Our staff are cheerleaders for our students, no matter how small the success. During our collaborative planning meetings, all teachers use instructional resources to plan for the most effective instruction for their students. Homeroom, interrelated, deaf, hard of hearing, gifted, and ESOL teachers review data and focus on areas that need improvement. Blue Ridge appreciates all of the support the board gives by offering teachers high-quality curriculum, resources, and support to successfully plan and implement effective instruction. Through the support of the ACE curriculum, we are able to meet individual needs. The teachers and administration collaborate to plan instruction that supports the unique needs of each student. As we reflect on data in our meetings, we deliberately focus on individual student data. Through this intentional planning, we can continue to proactively work towards closing achievement gaps. Ms. Connolly, kindergarten teacher at Blue Ridge, stated, "I honestly cannot think of a more inspiring place to teach than Blue Ridge. The unwavering support from our administration and culture of collaboration among colleagues is unmatched. The inspiration I gain from students through building relationships and watching them grow and succeed is what continuously fuels my passion for teaching." Lucy Vigna, 5th grade student, said, "What inspires me most about Blue Ridge is the friendships that I have made with students, teachers, and staff." At Blue Ridge Elementary, we believe that every student has the potential to grow beyond expectations, and we're committed to making that belief a reality. Our school improvement plan is more than a document. It's a roadmap to success, designed to promote student achievement and inspire a love of learning. Our teachers and administrators understand that building relationships with students is imperative if we want to see students make progress. As teachers take note of what each child needs and what makes each child unique, it helps them intentionally plan, focusing on individual specific needs and tracking growth. Teachers hold the rare privilege of inspiring dreams long before those dreams ever take shape. Our leadership team creates a roadmap for achieving those goals, which includes a set of focused, manageable strategies that support instruction across all content areas, while also targeting the unique needs of reading and math. These strategies are not just theoretical, they're practical, classroom-ready tools that will empower teachers and engage students. Ms. Walker, 4th grade math teacher, states, "I strive to ignite a spark of curiosity every day as I guide my students to see the relationships and patterns between numbers and equations." At Blue Ridge, we involve parents in our planning process and provide them with the necessary resources to support their child at home. We have literacy nights, iReady nights, STEM and math night, along with many other events at school to help build that community. A current parent stated, "Blue Ridge has inspired me as a parent and community member to trust and have faith in the schools. This school has supported our children and family as a whole. The teachers and staff members have loved and supported all of our kids over the past 10 years. BRE is more than a school, it's a family." Anderson Durham, 3rd grade student, said, "I think Blue Ridge is inspiring because our teachers are always getting us ready for the future. When I'm at Blue Ridge, I feel like a learner and an amazing student." Blue Ridge believes in the power of recognition to contribute to the school's climate and culture. Students are celebrated through positive behavior interventions and support celebrations. Individual students receive Bob's Brags. These are announced on the school news show for others to hear, recognizing those who demonstrate responsible, respectful, and ready-to-learn behaviors. Students are chosen by their teachers monthly to receive Bob's Buddies. Academic pep rallies are held quarterly to celebrate the students' successes. Lakeside High cheerleaders, football players, and other sports teams come to help celebrate. Teachers and staff are also recognized through our Teacher of the Quarter and Support Staff of the Quarter, as well as Positive PALs. I would like to thank the board for providing the resources and opportunities that we have to engage students at the highest level of learning, keeping them inspired and enriched every day. The support from the board allows our teachers to effectively reach each student. Ms. Turner, 5th grade student, stated, our students inspire me every day with the openness and curiosity. They bring unique experiences and cultures from all over the world, and their eagerness to learn from one another makes our school a true community of growth and understanding. At Blue Ridge, we're not just teaching, we're inspiring. We're not just setting goals, we're achieving them together. Our Bobcats are curious, capable, and courageous learners, and we're proud to help facilitate their journey. Together, we're building a school where growth is celebrated, learning is joyful, and every student is empowered to reach their full potential. Blue Ridge is here to change lives. We understand the importance of these foundational years and are committed to doing our best to prepare each student for the challenges of the future. At this time, I have the honor of presenting one of our teachers, Miss Erica Cox. She is our gifted teacher and one of the top 10 finalists for Teacher of the Year.
Thank you for the opportunity to join you this evening. I have the privilege of teaching the gifted students at Blue Ridge. It's the most challenging and rewarding role of my career. As William Butler Yeats said, education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Each day, I strive to provide opportunities that enrich each student's life, fill their academic pail, and ignite their desire for more. Student engagement is of the utmost importance when igniting a spark of interest that can develop into a passion. Engagement through differentiated, hands-on, and problem-solving tasks with real-world connections provide an enriched environment for students to thrive. I feel blessed to work in a district with a board that supports teachers in improving classroom instruction. The district-wide commitment to the ACE case allows all teachers to improve their craft. I'm especially thankful for this resource. As I plan for the extension of grade level standards in 4 different grade levels and in all subject areas, the ACE case provides a high-quality support system with guidance and differentiated resources to ensure that my curriculum extends and parallels classroom content without overlap. Additionally, the ACE case allows me to look at standards and lesson resources vertically. I'm able to develop a greater understanding of how to enrich instruction with this roadmap showing where the students will progress. The road to academic success is paved with the high-quality curriculum we've been provided and is guided by students' performance. Formative and summative data are constantly and consistently used to guide the instructional cycle at Blue Ridge. Data plays an integral role in all that we do. Even though I'm not the homeroom teacher for my students, I use their classroom module assessments, iReady diagnostic, MyPath progress, and other assessments to provide individualized instruction. Collaboration with homeroom teachers allows support for each student at their level by evaluating and adjusting instructions in all learning environments. Data provides direction for differentiated instruction. My students inspire me to offer engaging and educational opportunities that will enrich and inspire each of them on their journey to academic excellence.
Thank you so much. We're really excited for Blue Ridge. As you can see, all the great things are happening at our school. We're really leading the way to high achievement and high expectations. While each school has their own individual school improvement plan, they're very connected to our district strategic plan as well. They maximize achievement and success for each student by increasing teachers' understanding and mastery of their curriculum and increasing instructional rigor for each student. Not only do they work to maximize family and community involvement, Blue Ridge also nurtures strong relationships in a supportive environment. We're very proud of the hard work and great work happening at Blue Ridge Elementary School.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll.
Good evening. Mr.
Pritchett and I are going to share an update on special education with you this evening. The update will include an overview of how all students are supported, as well as specific supports and services that we have for our students with disabilities. Our district mission and vision states that we will lead the nation in educational excellence, where each student is engaged, enriched, and inspired. We are dedicated to providing all students challenging content and instruction that supports them and helps increase their achievement through shared accountability. By intentionally designing processes and dedicating resources, staffing, and funding for our students with disabilities, we are fulfilling our district's mission and vision to support each student, to ensure that they have the tools and supports needed to reach their full potential and to excel in the learning environment. Before students qualify for special education support and services, students' needs are addressed through the multi-tiered system of supports. You may recall our previous presentations on NTSS. This is a data-driven process used to identify and support students who may be at risk for poor learning outcomes or who may exhibit behavioral concerns that impact their learning. Within this framework, students receive strong Tier 1 instruction while also receiving supports or intervention at the Tier 2 and Tier 3 level. These supports or interventions address their needs as outlined in the data. If and when this process does not meet a student's needs, the parent and/or the school team may request a comprehensive evaluation to determine if the student requires more individualized supports or services through special education. After a comprehensive evaluation is conducted, the school team will need to determine if the student requires and qualifies for special education services. Once a student qualifies for supports and services, they are supported under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. IDEA is a federal law that ensures students with disabilities receive free, appropriate public education. This law also ensures that students who qualify for special education services are provided the supports that meet their unique needs in the least restrictive environment. Services for students with disabilities can range from consultative services, where the special education staff check in with a general education teacher, to co-teaching services where general education teachers work and teach alongside special education teachers, as well as services for students who require the support of a specific learning environment where instruction is provided by a special education teacher for a portion or all of the day. Services and supports are determined by the IEP team and are based on the student's present level data. At this time, I will turn it over to Mr. Pritchett, and he will share some additional information and more specific supports that we provide to our students with disabilities.
Thank you, Ms. Gregg, and good evening. As Ms. Gregg mentioned, I'm going to share with you some of the supports, structures, and services provided to our students with disabilities, as well as our teachers and staff who support these students. Once a student is found eligible for special education, an individualized education plan, or an IEP, is developed by the IEP team. The IEP team consists of school-based personnel, related service providers, if applicable, and parents. The plan includes the specific data that drives the goals, strategies, and services needed for the student to access education. The team uses data to create and adjust the plan so that students have access to a free, appropriate public education. FAPE. This essentially levels the playing field for our students who have exhibited deficits based on their exceptionality. Once the IEP is developed, it is reviewed annually at a minimum, but can be amended by the IEP team throughout the year based on data and student needs. A reevaluation is held every 3 years or sooner if the team feels it is appropriate. Districts are provided with federal and state funding to support the students with disabilities population. Each year, districts report their full-time equivalent, or FTE, information to the state as evidence of the exceptionalities and services being provided to students. Our district has worked diligently to improve our reporting processes through FTE so that we are maximizing the funding we receive for our students. The hard work and dedication to improving the reporting of our FTE has not only increased our revenue, but also allowed us to decrease the deficit between our revenue and expenditures. The close monitoring and additional funding has allowed us to provide additional staffing and resources to support our students' needs across all levels. This has also helped us organize our resources and lower our overall deficit between revenue and expenditures, so we are able to provide a much higher level of support than previously. It is important to note that over the last 4 years, we have increased our revenue and expenditures by approximately $12 million for our students with disabilities. This is a direct benefit to our special education students and teachers, because enhancing special education supports and services is a key priority for our school district, and it assists us in meeting the needs of each student. We go above and beyond to supplement federal and state funding to ensure that we are supporting both our student and our teacher needs. Over the last 4 years, the average per pupil expenditure for a student with a disability for our district has increased by approximately $2,300. These expenditures have provided additional resources, staffing, and services to our students across all levels and programs. We currently serve 3,695 students in special education, which is approximately 13% of our total student population. We have 258 teachers, 192 paraprofessionals, 37 speech pathologists, and 7 American Sign Language interpreters. Each special education teacher has a designated caseload of students who they monitor for progress throughout the year and work to develop their IEPs. The state guideline for caseloads is based off exceptionality and placement setting. I will share 2 examples from state guidance. For students with mild intellectual disabilities in a self-contained setting, the state recommends a caseload of 14 students. In Columbia County, we have an average of 11 students per caseload for our self-contained MID classrooms. For specific learning disabilities in the interrelated resource setting, the state recommends a caseload of 26 students. In Columbia County, our interrelated resource teachers have an average caseload of 15 students. As you can see, we have significantly lower caseloads for our special education teachers across our district. Lower caseloads allow teachers to dedicate critical time to the development of IEP and increases their time to plan for intentional instruction that supports the student's needs. During the spring, I shared with you the location or placement of our self-contained classes across the district. Self-contained classrooms are designed to provide specialized instruction based on the student's area of exceptionality. Students in self-contained classrooms are taught by the special education teacher for the majority of the day. Tonight, I want to take a moment to share the number and type of self-contained classes we have across our district. The graph on the screen shows you the number of self-contained program classes across the district and the type of program classes that we have for all levels. ASD refers to autism spectrum disorder, EBD refers to emotional behavior disorder, ID refers to intellectual disabilities, and TK refers to transitional kindergarten. Across the 36 ASD classrooms, we serve 351 students. In the ASD setting, our staff focuses on improving communication and behavior while meeting the sensory needs of our students. We serve 70 students across the 9 EBD classrooms. Students in the EBD setting are working toward a general education diploma, and the focus is on improving student behaviors. Our 29 ID classrooms serve 218 students, and they are focused on the building of functional skills. Our 3 transitional kindergarten classes serve 23 students and support our students who have been served through the special education pre-K program, but require additional supports in the kindergarten setting. It is important to note that while these may seem like large numbers, only 18% of our students with disabilities population are served in a self-contained setting, which means 82% of our students with disabilities are served in the regular class setting as their least restrictive environment. The chart gives you a glimpse of our commitment to lowering the student-to-staff ratio, as well as our commitment to provide additional staff and resources to support our students with disabilities population. Staff-to-student ratios have continued to drop year over year, and our improvements in the reporting for FTE has allowed us to provide additional resources and staff to support our students, teachers, and staff. Over the last 4 years, we've increased resources and staff by approximately $12 million, dedicating resources, improving reporting, and reorganizing structures and supports ensures both teachers and students have what they need to excel each day. During the 2023-2024 school year, the Department of Special Services participated in a needs assessment, which was completed by an external auditor. The needs assessment included a review of our structural organization and practices, interviews with school and district special education personnel, and a deep dive into student performance data for our students with disabilities. The findings from this needs assessment provided guidance and next steps for the following areas of instruction, compliance, and behavior. With this information, we were able to identify best practices for supporting special education teachers and students with disabilities in these areas. What we found is that best practices align and dedicate specialized support for instruction, compliance, and behavior for the population of students with disabilities. This allowed us to place an emphasis on instructional planning to enhance practice in the classroom setting and provide professional development on proper responses to student behavior as best practices to equip our staff as they work to meet the unique needs of our students. During the 24-25 school year, we were able to take some initial steps to address the concerns in the areas of instruction, compliance, and behavior. For instruction, we focused on improving the use of the academic curriculum of excellence, ACE standards, along with district-adopted resources to enhance the instruction within the special education environment. This ensured that our teachers of students with disabilities were engaged in learning opportunities that were similar to their general education peers. Administrators were intentional with scheduling to ensure that planning opportunities were available for collaboration between special education teachers and their general education colleagues. For compliance, we provided special education personnel with training regarding the development of IEPs and how to effectively conduct IEP meetings. Each case manager and related service provider completed a local education agency, LEA, representative training. This training allows them to serve as an LEA representative for IEP meetings. For behavior, we've supported class structure within the EPD, self-contained classrooms, and trained staff on mindset de-escalation techniques. This year, we are focused on increasing professional development opportunities in all areas, instruction, compliance, and behavior. We are enhancing communication to stakeholders and providing supports to school-level staff personnel. During the summer, we hosted our second annual Summer Institute, where sessions focused on specially designed instruction and behavior. Members of our school administrative teams joined us for a legal update. We have planned for continued professional development throughout the year for all staff personnel, with special trainings for teachers and paraprofessionals new to special education. To enhance communication, monthly newsletters and weekly updates are provided to staff members. Through this communication, we are able to share need-to-know information and address school support needs quickly. Our newly developed Teacher Toolkit is a platform for a variety of resources for our special educators. Our specialists in each of these areas are also providing support in their specialized areas during their school visits daily. One approach to dedicated specialized support is embedded in our restructuring of support staff for special education. Each cluster has a team of specialists that support schools in the areas of compliance, instruction, and behavior, and self-contained programs. Through the specialization of these positions, direct intentional support is being provided to school personnel. Specialist support for each cluster is on a 5-day rotation scheduled to ensure each school has a dedicated day and time to ensure their needs for students and teachers are addressed quickly and on a consistent basis. Instructional specialists work closely with the curriculum and instruction team and partner with school-based instructional specialists to enhance instruction provided in the special education environment. Our behavior specialists work closely with our board-certified behavior analysts to equip teachers with strategies to appropriately respond to student behaviors. Program specialists work closely with self-contained teachers to support instruction and behaviors in our self-contained classrooms. These specialists are able to observe and provide feedback as we work to enhance our practices in the areas of compliance, instruction, and behavior, which directly address the areas outlined in our needs assessment. We will continue to gain feedback from administrators and teachers to make any needed adjustments as we work through our first year of this restructure. As you can see, we're dedicated to supporting our students with disabilities, as well as the teachers and staff that support them. The adjustments to our support structure provide direct supports to schools and teachers, and our commitment to lowering our teacher-to-student ratios while increasing resources and staff are a direct benefit to our students and staff. At this time, I will pause for any questions that you all may have.
A little bit more about that rotational schedule.
Yes, so each cluster has a program specialist, a behavior specialist, an instructional specialist, and a compliance specialist. And right now we're divided into 5 clusters. So they're on a 5-day rotation. So each week they're scheduled for where they're supposed to go school-wise. And it's consistent, so it does not change at this point.
They're rotating among the schools.
They rotate amongst those cluster schools.
I have a question. There was an issue a few months ago with an IEP being altered without the parent's knowledge or consent. What steps have we taken to find out if this has happened to other IEPs?
Well, what we do have guidance that's been provided in regards to IEP meeting agendas and how to facilitate an IEP meeting. So that's how we're working to make sure that those things do not happen for any of our students in the district.
Have we looked through to make sure they didn't happen to other IEPs? Or what have we done? Have we done a review of some sort?
Well, we do reviews, and that's one of the line items for our compliance specialists. They go in and review those IEPs and support our teachers to ensure that we're compliant.
That's part of the audit process.
Yes.
And I know the district recently changed its practice to no longer allow third-party special education supports. If a child does need this third-party support that is listed in their IEP and the district is not able to provide it, what's our way forward for the district assisting parents to ensure the child is provided that service?
Well, again, that's on an individual basis, and determining if a service or support is needed for a student to access FAPE, and the team, reviewing that data and making that decision. And if there's a need for a student, then we provide that to that student, that service or support.
So if it's in their IEP already and it's determined they need it, how do we provide that if we're not networking with third-party providers anymore?
That's more so hypothetical. So
Well, it didn't happen. Okay. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Well, I can't speak to individual information here in the board meeting.
Just to recap, special ed is 13% of our student population.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we have 258 teachers for special ed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they're spread across the program as needed to address students in the individual programs and areas of need. Is that correct?
Yeah. So each school,
it depends on the programs that a school might have, but each school is going to have interrelated resource teachers. And then based on the programs, they will have program teachers in those buildings as well.
As the students' needs are identified through the multi-tier system, then those resources are provided to the students.
Yes.
Are parapros funded through local or state?
We're going to cover a little bit of that in a minute. It's the next portion, but a little bit of both. I mean, the state will fund some, and then locally we'll do some. So I think we're going to cover a little bit of that, and maybe we can use that for more questions on parapros.
I understand the parent mentor position is still vacant. How long has it been unfilled?
It's actually filled now. We're going to share some information in our monthly newsletter and share some information with our parents as well. So that has recently been filled.
How long was it vacant?
The parent mentor grant didn't get approved until this summer, and it was open. It started open in July, and it was filled in August.
You want to just talk about how that position came about? I mean, we're talking about something that probably everybody needs a little.
Yeah, so this is a state-funded grant by the Georgia Department of Education. Was not approved until midsummer, and with the funding of it being approved, then that's when we can post that position. But this is something that the Georgia Department of Education is pushing for all districts to have a parent mentor to support and connect our families with our schools. So I'm excited about our parent mentor.
I'm sorry. Did we have a liaison before that did that kind of for the state?
Yeah, so we've had one for the last 3 years, and it's been state funded for, in recent history, it's been a state funded grant. It gets approved every year.
What is the state funded position?
Yes.
It was filled and then we hired someone. How long between that gap?
We posted a position in July, and we hired in August.
I know we posted the position in July, but how long was it not filled between the previous person leaving and us hiring somebody? I heard it was quite a while. I'm trying to clarify if that's true information or not.
I don't really want to speak to when a parent mentor left a position, because that will go into personnel. So.
Check on that, find out later.
Special ed restructuring, well, first of all, God bless our special ed teachers, can't say that enough, but, and process your D.WI is really tough. I know. With the restructuring of special education, you talk about the things that it's supposed to do. Is there some kind of metrics that you're using to help determine that it's successful in what you're doing? I mean, surely it is, but how are you feeling the benefits of this restructuring?
Well, we're just starting with, this is the initial stages of the restructure. We are getting feedback from principals. We've had 2 principals conferences and getting feedback from them. But also our cluster leads, which they work here in the district office, they go out and do collab meetings at each school to get feedback from teachers, to provide support to those teachers. And we're looking to see the benefits as we, see the student progress, see student grades, and see testing data as well. So.
I mean, are we getting less? There's always going to be complaints with IEPs. No, I mean, this is a hard world to live in when you're trying to write these things. We know that. Are we seeing a reduction in sort of complaints on the compliance side, on the IEPs? What are we seeing in that regard?
I mean, we have complaints, but I don't know if there's necessarily a reduction or.
I mean, it's a really important thing to know, so I would love to know the answer to that. How we're actually performing on this. I know it's working well, I just want to know those areas of improvement. And I like to put numbers to things, if at all possible.
We definitely are committed to making sure that what we put in place continues to work. I think it's too new at this point for us to be able to tell, which is, right up front. But we, as Mr. Richard said, are continuously getting feedback, having meetings, we're able to see and identify if there are any compliance issues. Our specialists are bringing those to the table, we're talking about them, work through them, and make sure that we put things in place to prevent those.
feel good about it.
Yes, absolutely. We've had some good feedback from our principals and some from our teachers as well. Some opportunities where schools have been able to provide their teachers with those support that they previously encouraged them. And we made some adjustments.
It's more so maximizing to ensure that we can provide those teachers support. So maximizing our staffing so that those specialists can intentionally support our teachers in those specific areas of need.
And I've read different articles too that speak to the fact that special ed personnel are difficult to find. Are we seeing any evidence of that in the district? Special ed personnel, it's difficult to find all the specialists that are needed in all the areas of special ed. Do we see any evidence of that here in Columbia County?
Mr. Wright will speak to that when he provides our update.
I want to be completely honest. I'm seeing a disjunct between, just a full disconnect between what I'm seeing in the slides and what the public has brought to me. I've had a number of parents reaching out with special ed concerns and, wanting me to bring these concerns to the meeting, and this opportunity is really the place to do it. So I did have a parent, she networked with a number of other special ed parents who felt like they couldn't speak up and share individually because they feared retaliation. And so she combined their feedback and sent it and asked me to share it with the board tonight. So some of those things that she shared, I won't read all of it, but some of the main takeaways are she's saying decisions are being made that don't seem to have our kids' best interests at heart, especially the ones with higher needs. Moving classes around, the unnecessary changes to special education specialists, making constant adjustments. If anything, this has made school harder for these students. She talks about IDEA complaints climbing based on her circle of parents that she knows. She says things typically went from okay in 22 to 23 to now completely out of control. Parents are crying out for help and the system is still failing our kids. She said, I saw a parent on Facebook trying to find out our parent mentor. I gave up on that search weeks ago since the information still isn't on the district website. When you click on the link, the page doesn't load. The pay for AST paraprofessionals is shameful, which I did have a principal echo that a while ago. She says families are leaving the system in numbers because they're being failed by our special ed program. And she says instead of collaborating with parents, the district fights us. They dig their heels in. There's no compromise, no flexibility, no effort to meet us halfway. It feels like it's their way or no way and our children pay the price. So I want to continue having these discussions because we've got to bridge that disconnect somehow. We're seeing one thing here, I'm hearing a number of things. I know I've witnessed the situation I talked about when we were in that situation together. Reading an IEP that said a child needed ABA supports, but yet we weren't providing them because we don't network with third parties anymore. I'm seeing that there's just a disconnect. And so I would like the district to consider hosting a public question and answer session, a forum directly with the community to add for targeted feedback with questions and answers for the community, for these parents to come and have an open, interactive discussion. I think this is a first step, but I'm very proud this district has brought it to the meeting to allow the board to address it. And I think the next step would be that we would host, or the district would host a question and answer forum directly with the public where parents can bring back their targeted feedback for the special ed program and their questions. So I pose that to Chairman
I have a question for District 4 representative. The single complaining parent, first of all, how long have you had that information?
I've shared it with the board through email a number of times. This was a specific...
I've not received that, but the important question is, did you connect this parent with our district people so that they could address these concerns? Or did you save them so that you could bring them to this public forum and then have an opportunity to hear yourself speak?
Well, I did send them to the superintendent a number of times, and you've received them. I've sent them, I've CC'd the board on all these complaints.
Have you received these?
Ms. Allen, if I get an individual complaint, I will deal with that. And that was what I was going to offer. Obviously, Ms. Gregg is available, Mr. Pritchett, all the specialists. All we have to do is know the parent, and we'll reach out, and they're gonna get a lot of support. We get a lot of positive feedback. Now, we don't get everything right, we wouldn't say that, but we work with parents very well, and we're very, very proud of our schools and our teachers. So when you have an issue, let's please give me that individual issue. We will address it, we promise you. But we can't air an individual's, it might identify a student here, and so we have a limited number, especially in our self-contained programs. We can't do that in public.
So I
would agree 100%, Dr. Plant. I think it's totally inappropriate to come here and read the complaint of an individual parent, especially if you haven't connected that parent and that family to the right people so that they can address these issues privately, individually, professionally, and not in the public forum in order to score some type of political points. It's, to me, you know, it's just, it's not professional, it's not appropriate.
So I maintain that I did send these, and I have sent communications and feedback every step of the way, and the board's always CC'd. And I also maintain that this parent is not an individual email. This is a collaboration of a number of parents who were afraid to speak out, and who have either tried to speak out or were afraid to because they're seeing how other parents have been responded to. And so this parent networked with them, combined their feedback, brought it to me as their representative, and said, please take this to the board so that we can feel heard.
Speaking out to the board is not going to get a solution. She needs to be put in touch, or he needs to be put in touch with the professionals that actually can make a difference. That's why our norms and protocols require that we send whatever the complaint is, whatever the issue is, to the people that actually do this, that we hire to do this, that can make that difference. Writing to us allows us to be the conduit to the sources that can make the difference that needs to be made. Airing those differences here puts everybody in jeopardy, doesn't get a difference made for the student that actually needs to see the difference. If a parent is unwilling to reach out to the people in the schools that actually deal with the students, it's unlikely that they're going to come to a town hall. If we're going to make a difference for students, contact the individual, go to the schools, speak with the teacher, with the principal. I've never met a person in Columbia County schools that would not listen, that would not investigate, that would not do what needs to be done for a student in special ed, regular ed. Now, can we do everything according to everybody's wishes? That would be wonderful if it were so, but it's not, okay? As far as third-party individuals go, no, we can't bring third-party individuals into a school because they have to be vetted just like everybody else. Whether it's a parent volunteer, whether it's a guest speaker, we need to know who's in the building amongst our students. As a parent, I think everybody would appreciate that. But I don't think anybody is going without having their needs met. And I think our personnel makes every effort to make sure all needs are met. I think this approach is counterproductive. I think going directly to the schools, to the personnel, is the best way to approach this. And I think if somebody writes us, it's imperative that we send them in that direction also.
So when individuals feel that they've exhausted those options, is this not the forum and the discussion to discuss where the community feedback is and integrate that into a full discussion to say, okay, we've got these metrics, these program outlines, we've got this community feedback as a board, how can we begin to bridge those two to find a solution?
Do that one-on-one and take that person to the source.
And I'll just make a note. Well, I think it's important to note there are formal processes here that parents should follow. We follow them to the T at the district. Hopefully if they get to one of the three of us, which is very late in the game, but if they get to one of the three of us and still it's not resolved, there's the state level process that is very open, and we give them that information. And Mr. Pritchett, you can talk about that when we have a disagreement. Actually, when we have any meeting, if they will say, if you disagree with this is the process that you follow, and you can go to the state and complain, and we'll work. The state will come back to us, and if we did something wrong, they'll tell us. And can you?
Yes, at each meeting, parents are given parental rights, and in those parental rights are procedural safeguards. If there is any disagreement with an IEP decision, and it details furthering a state complaint or due process as procedural safeguards for parents. And in those cases, then someone from the state intervenes and does an investigation to look into the matters.
And special ed students have state safeguards and federal safeguards, do they not?
And I would also mention, if we actually went on another process and say created a process or a procedure or a policy that was different than these guidelines, we would be in violation of not only state and federal law.
Department job,
I think we need to bring this to a close, but I think the most important thing is, Ms. Allen, if a parent brings to you such concerns, it is of the utmost importance that you forward that parent's concerns to the right people in a timely manner. I know that you asked if we could address special education more than a month ago. Dr. Klein explained to you that we would be addressing that during our work session at the end of September. And so clearly you've been sitting on this for over a month. And during that month, so much could have been done to help this parent that was upset. But instead, we're just, you're using it in a public forum, and that's not productive.
I disagree with the accuracy of that statement.
Well, I think we need to move on. Mr. Chris, you got anything else?
I want to thank you all, and I'm going to turn it to Mr. Wright for staffing update.
Thank you.
And as Mr. Wright comes up, let me just, I know we talked a lot, and Mr. Wright's going to say a couple of the numbers also, but the last couple of years, and I think you saw that the graph, it was pretty clear, we've increased funding greatly and decreased our student-teacher ratio. Now, with this restructuring, there are going to be some challenges that Mr. Pritchett spoke of, Ms. Gregg spoke of. They're working to work that through. We will have an extremely strong system. I believe we have one now, but we've really made a lot of progress, Mr. Wright, as you go through some of these numbers. And we've got great people in the schools and principals that are supporting this work. So I hope you saw what we've been able to do with resources, with the weighted staffing formula to increase what we're able to do for special education kids. It's really, I kind of thought I was going to hear that was remarkable on what we've actually been able to receive in funding, and then that flowed back through expenditures to students.
But I think we sort of expected this was going to be a tough year too because of the changes and where the classes actually were. The change is never good.
Well, and you'll remember we were going to do this last year, but we really wanted to do more training. We know we need to get to this point after the needs assessment. But I came back to the board last year and we said, you know what, we're going to wait one more year so we can get another year of training in, so we can be more successful with it. Because there's a lot of compliance and there's a lot of regulations around this, and then there's a lot of learning around the specially designed instruction. So we're going to be in that learning process for a couple of years, but I think we're making great headway with it. And this, along with a couple of the other things that are in our strategic plan, are hopefully going to make, Mr. Kent, that difference in the data. I don't want to separate it from, our achievement data. We can look at the gaps, program area gaps, and that's something we really probably need to look at first as far as the difference that it's making, because it's kind of hard. I mean, some years you may have more complaints or less complaints. It's kind of hard to tell unless it just went skyrocketed. But that student achievement data really is going to make a difference, and we'll try to start breaking that down too, which we do, but maybe for the board's benefit.
And I just want to say, Mr. Pritchett, you are appreciated. Your team is appreciated. All 258 teachers, all 192 parapros, everybody. We appreciate all you do day in and day out, and we know that you're working to make it better. Thank you.
I do want to,
Mr. Wright?
May I say one more thing, Mr. Chairman?
No, we're done, we're moving on.
Okay, good evening. I want to talk to you about, very briefly here, about how the HR division supports the initiatives of the special education department. And I'd like to go back probably a month before school started. I was meeting very regularly with Lee Ann and with Mr. Pritchett to go over some of our staffing situation. It was not the picture that we wanted it to be at the time before school started, but through a lot of initiatives and hard work, we got it to where we wanted it to be. So this staffing situation right now in a couple of categories is very, very strong. As you can see right now, in two of the categories that give us the most trouble are autism spectrum disorder and emotional behavior disorders. They're very, very high, bordering on 98% between the two of them. And an area that really surprised me as you look down to the notes was just the turnover in those areas. And if you've ever been into those classrooms, you'll see what our folks in those classrooms are dealing with. But nonetheless, the turnover is less than 5 folks from the beginning of July, which is the start of this year, until right now. So very good picture. It's a situation that we're continually to recruit towards because we know we're going to have some changes in the IEPs, and we know we're going to get some more students that are going to change that picture. Every year we start the year with between 15 and 16 people in contingency, and you can see right now we've used 11 of those folks, 11 of the 16 people, 11 of the 16 positions in contingency have been moved out of there, and 9 of the 11 have been used on special education. This is a non-certified side, so we are very responsive to any changes in IEPs, any new students, or any things that we think are going to make the situation better. And as I mentioned, staffing and turnover in this area is very, very strong. So one of the things that I like to hear is we get separation notices and we follow up with people that leave the district. I don't really look at the good news. I just want to hear the complaints and I always ask the superintendent, hey, this is what I'm seeing. What are you seeing? And you tell me, and we'll go and look at it. But if you bring it to me, we'll take a look at it. Leanne and Mr. Pritchett were telling me about some problems that they thought that we were having, and we tried to address it. So that's just how we're going to do it. Next slide, please. This slide here shows quickly 7 of the 13 special ed categories that are most common across the state. And those are the recommended staffing ratios for those areas. And if you look to the far right, we are meeting or exceeding those categories, and with the exception of 2, and those are 2 very specialized and hard to fill, hard to find categories. Those being the visually impaired folks and the deaf and hard of hearing folks. We're working on that. We have some places, we have some fixes in place right now. We've even thought about using some tele professionals. We just don't want to do that just yet. And I think we've got some ideas on how we think we can find these folks. But nonetheless, we are exceeding those ratios and we'll continue to do that. With speech, for example, years ago, we would start the year with a caseload that would be under the state recommended level. But due to the influx of more students, we would exceed that. And it's kind of hard to find speech teachers when the school year has already begun. I just can't tell you how difficult that is. But nonetheless, that's our mission, and that's something that we're going to continue to work towards. This slide here shows salary. It's salary. I mean, it's something that we're constantly looking at. The only areas that outpay us in these categories are those Atlantic school districts. And that goes without saying why they have to do that. Competition is great. You're at the confluence of several large school districts. In our area, our only competition for these folks are Aiken County, Richmond County, and us. And as you can see, we exceed the pay levels for those folks, and we're continuing to look at that. One of the things that we're going to probably have some more stress over is that this year EBD is a problem just because of some of the clients that we're dealing with in terms of the students. But nonetheless, you saw the turnover, you saw the staffing ratios we're managing, but we're going to continue to look at that, and if it's a problem, you all have given us the resources and the latitude to fix it, so we'll continue to do that. My last slide. This slide right here, well, I've got one more after this. This slide right here shows you, I think this is the last slide, shows you, we're shifting a little bit from special ed parapros to parapros in general. And you can see that there has been a change in staffing across the state in using regular ed paraprofessionals. Most of the school districts that we compare ourselves to have just gotten out of the staffing business of 1 to 2 grade level paraprofessionals, and instead they've gone with hiring more certified teachers. And a watershed mark for us was probably about in 2014 when we had a high of 180 grade 1 to 5 paraprofessionals, and we lowered that down to 70 because the superintendent gave the principals the option of trading paraprofessionals for certified teachers. We did that again in 2018, and that trend is probably going to continue for a number of reasons. Number one, we know that teachers are the best folks. A certified person is the best person for a student, but more importantly, there are going to be some financial considerations that we're going to have to look at in the future. Healthcare and some other things that are going to make this an issue. But anyway, I just want to quickly show you that because we are using a weighted model with our staffing, the building leaders now have the flexibility to use their points based on the weights that they get, based on the funding that they get from the state, to add staff in the categories that they think will best help their organization or their building. So you're probably going to see some more changes in that. They're probably going to hire more certified staff, and if they do that in lieu of a paraprofessional, we are not going to cut any paraprofessionals out of the job or anything. We'll just let them attrit normally, and so they can use their points however they see fit. But I just want to show you that what the trend is in paraprofessionals. So what I wanted to show you quickly was to show you how that we are responding to the special education needs across the district, and we'll continue to do that. And when we hear stuff about it, we'll respond accordingly as best as we can. So that's a good question.
Mr. Wright, can I maybe interject one little thing and just say thank you for as y'all know, we implemented that weighted staffing plan over this last 2 years. That is the crux of how we've been able to increase revenue and be able to increase expenses in the area of special education. And Mr. Wright did lead that effort, but a lot of people have a lot of input because the principals actually have to find the way to schedule those students most appropriately. And one, it's best for the students, but two, it maximizes the funding. And in some cases, and I don't know if you want to talk more about this, but we would have a student serve all day in a particular classroom, where if they actually had different classes throughout the day and were served in half the time, we would double the funding for the student. And so it was a kind of an eye-opening moment when we got that to all of our school level folks, because they were able to schedule most appropriately for the students, but then maximize funding. And look what it's done for the funding and the number of teachers that we've got across the district. So kudos, we're still got a long way to go, but we've made a huge difference, and Mr. Wright and his team have been leading that effort. So thank you, and say whatever you want about that, but that's been a big part of it.
Yes, sir. We transitioned from staffing based on the number of students to staffing based on weights, and that gives us the ability to look specifically at the students' needs and hire and get greater funding from the state. You get greater funding for gifted, for EIP, for ESOL students, and for special ed students, as opposed to base funding. So you get these higher weights, and with these higher weights, they get more funding, and with more funding, the schools get more points, and they can add staff. And a lot of them did add staff this year. A lot of them added staff that where they thought they needed. One of them even added an assistant principal. But most of them added EIP teachers. So it's based on the needs of the students. We get them segments. We have more teachers trained and gifted in ESOL categories, and so they can meet the needs of these students. And that's the goal of it. So not all of our schools are going to be the same. They're going to be specifically targeted to the students that are in that school, and that's how it should be.
I have a quick question. What's the average state pay? If you can go back to that paraprofessional pay slide where we compare our paraprofessionals to Aiken and Richmond County, what's the average in the state for a paraprofessional?
Well, in Atlanta, it's probably going to be about $5,000 or $7,000 more. Yeah, but it's a higher cost area, and this is a relatively low cost area, so you're gonna get more bang for your buck here, but I don't think it's a good comparison to do that. It's just a higher cost area, and no one is gonna move from Atlanta here for a paraprofessional job unless they're being reassigned here or something like that. So our market is this. Pardon?
It's a state average, not.
I'd have to look that up.
I was curious.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's a number of ways you can get that, and get that through Indeed, Glassdoor, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. We use all of those.
Oh.
All right.
Picking up on the acronym, you said EBD, that was maybe I misheard, I think you said that was a constant struggle?
Yeah, it's tough. You got hearing disorders. These are folks that are probably intellectual, and help me out here, Shepard, that are probably intellectually okay. It's just their behaviors are such that they are very difficult to manage.
That works, and is that when you're looking for talent to manage that, is there specific characteristics, or is this a structured thing that we're trying to address?
We may want to let Mr. Pritchett, you can talk through that a little bit, because it's very programmatic, and I think, Mr. Wright, one of the things that you're saying is the behaviors are difficult, and they become where teachers can get hurt if they don't have the right abilities, and so we train them, and that's one of the things we've been working very hard on this last couple of years. And so you may want to talk about the specific program area and who we target, and we have some absolutely amazing teachers that do that work. We're very proud of them.
Yeah, so there are teachers that work in this environment, paraprofessionals. We provide professional development, but we also, our behavior specialists, they go in and support those teachers as well. And also our board certified behavior analysis goes in and provides strategies to support these students. Because the ultimate goal is if we can get a behavioral kid that's having problems in the regular learning environment, we want to incrementally get the student to be in the general education classroom, because our ED kids, most of them are working for the general education component. So the more exposure they can have with the general education teachers, the better off they're going to be. We support our teachers in regards to professional development, supporting behavior within that classroom, and structuring that classroom to get those students to where they can develop and get more exposure in the district environment with their general education teachers.
We're not hampering the general education kids, they both are important, obviously. That's got to be a challenge.
To answer your question, part of the problem that I was alluding to, without going into depth, is these are abusive settings in some conditions, in some situations, and majority of our paraprofessional force are females. And in some instances, they're trying to deal with behavior of folks that are larger. And Dr. Flint did mention that there have been some injuries. And that's just not good for our people, right? No one should have to be subject to an injury, regardless of faith. And that's Tony Wright talking.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Okay, let me again thank staff and our schools and our folks that don't come up here to talk, because they play out that work in the schools, but do an excellent job. And we're excited this year about doing the Inspire Spotlight, because we're obviously being able to bring some of those schools in, and some of the ones that are having the highest performance, and we'll be able to hear from them and kind of hear the great things that are happening. Okay, we'll move on to bid results. On August 22nd, the Columbia County School District Purchasing Department solicited sealed competitive bids for student headphones. The solicitation was sent out to more than 15 vendors, posted on the Columbia County School District website, the Georgia Procurement Registry website. Before you see the bids that we received prior to the closing date, this time we recommend Ari Jones Educational Solutions in the amount of $256,227.18.
I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation. Ari Jones.
Any discussion?
Was any of these dollars, was this included in the SWAT, or where's the money?
This will be general fund dollars. This will be needed and required for milestones testing.
Sorry,
This is the first time we've actually had to do this because of the, well, a number of reasons, and maybe I'll ask, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but this is the first time we've made this type of a purchase, and you want to go into some of the specifics, Ms. Gregg?
Yes, so our milestones assessment and the changes with the ELA standards have increased the opportunity that the students are going to be able to experience multimodal text, different types of media within the test itself. So we've never had to have a headphone for our students to take milestones. So this will be the first purchase for that. But they will be listening to video clips or other types of media that the headphones will help them to access during the milestones exam. So we did, make sure that it included a very durable headphone that should last us a good amount of time. They're made for kids, so to speak, and they are not items that we'll use every day in the school, so they'll be tested, so the longevity of them should be.
This is sort of an indirect unfunded mandate.
Right.
Just unique on the state.
We've seen this in a number of different ways, but we did budget for it.
Am I being sarcastic? Yes, sir.
What product would we use?
Excuse me?
What product do we use in our schools? We use this product, not this product, this company.
Oh, what?
Are they our headsets?
I think we've done it.
We've used them before. They provide all kinds of different types of technology items, and they've won our, when we do computers and all of that, they've won or had a part of those bids in the past, and I think they currently do now as well.
And no further questions, all in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. Any opposed, seeing none, that motion passes and the bid is approved.
On August 21st, the Columbia County School District Purchasing Department solicited sealed competitive bids for furniture for the Learning Commons at Lakeside High School. The solicitation was sent to more than 15 vendors and posted on the Columbia County School District website, as well as the Georgia Procurement Registry website. We received bids from the following vendors that are listed before you. So this time we recommend the library store in the amount of $124,884.54.
Make a motion to accept the bids.
Second. Any discussion?
How often do we replace furniture? Do we do it on a rotational basis, or do we do it one school at a time, all at once?
We're actually, we started that just a couple of years ago, and it hasn't been done in quite some time. We would do it when we did additions, when we did new buildings, new classrooms, things like that. And so Mr. Casato's been kind of working through this. The challenge with that is if you didn't have a rotation on replacement items, you can't get it all at once. And so they're working through that, finding the oldest equipment and then replacing that. And especially areas where we're already buying some furniture, if they had some older furniture, like Lakeside Evans would be an example. But Mr. Casato, you want to say more about that? I know you've got a good process going on. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, that's certainly right. We laid out a cycle based on age because there hadn't been one at just age of the building. And then we go in, we have a budget, of course, a target of what we want to spend. We go into that building, the first one on the list, and we do a true assessment. So we're not just going in there and replacing everything. We will go into every office, every learning commons, the cafeteria, the classrooms, and kind of come to an agreement with the principal about what needs to reasonably be replaced. And that's what we do, and then we'll move on to the next one. And then once we kind of hit the budgeted amount, or it's also a question of manpower and the management of summer deliveries along with everything else that's going on to swap out furniture. And Mr. Sanders and his crew are vital in ensuring that happens on top of everything else. But we're doing about two a year, I would say. And so you're looking at a 15 to 20 year furniture replacement cycle, which the way they make it now is pretty ridiculous.
Okay, so I know you had said for the previous one that this comes out of the general fund versus SPLOST, is that correct?
Headphones.
The headphones would be
Yes.
general fund, this would be SPOS.
This would be charged to the Lakeside High addition and renovation project
Okay,
line in SPOS, yes.
thank you so much, Dr. Clark.
You're welcome.
If my memory serves me right, didn't we just vote on furniture for Lakeside in a recent meeting?
Yeah, we did the office furniture for the new front offices and all that. We also, earlier, a couple of months back, replaced all the classroom furniture. Well, we didn't replace it, we put new classroom furniture in the new classrooms. And so as the band room, course room, the new wing of classrooms on the right side of the school, all those had to be outfitted with a full gamut of a basic equipment list, which is a list of what goes in a new classroom.
I seen they couldn't have been combined into one bid and product. And what's the total? What are we up to on furniture?
They could have been combined, yes, it was a timing issue, and we pulled this one out because we needed more time to work with the school and to come to a good conclusion on kind of what our standard is going to be for a high school learning commons as we move into the building program. I think you'll see on your board reports, we budgeted about $1.5 million or so for furniture for this project. It's either that or $1.25 million, I can't remember, for furniture and equipment. I believe we're about $600,000 or $700,000 into that. So I think we're still on track to hit that number. But it is somewhat of a moving, it could be a little bit of a moving target because we haven't outfitted the high school in some of these spaces because they're new to the district, even conceptually at its core. So, but I think we're about a little maybe over halfway into that budget, but that project's a little over halfway, I guess, too, or maybe further along than that. So,
Any other questions? Not seeing none. All in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Seeing none, that motion passes.
We'll move on to superintendent reports. On Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, we recognize National IT Professionals Appreciation Day. Included within our district's group of IT professionals, this is a pretty broad range. Our largest group is 35 technology support specialists. We have 2 network engineers, a physical security engineer who oversees the cameras and door access controls, visualization engineers, security account engineers, tech support supervisors, and lead tech support specialists, business and data analysts, and of course, our very important student information team that makes sure our data is correct as we report that to the state. These dedicated staff members support more than 30,000 Chromebooks, laptops, Apple computers, and many other technologies, and are charged with tackling everything to do with connectivity, wireless, internet access, security, and a lot more. So let me thank them all for keeping our students connected and engaged in learning. Happy National IT Professional Appreciation Day. And, James in here, you can share that. I did that on first note, really. He's doing some work, so.
Just put that back into the, everybody gets to present.
Right. On September 15th, our schools kicked off National Hispanic Heritage Month, which continues through October 15th. Students, staff, and families participate in a variety of activities and lessons during the month-long celebration to honor the histories, cultures, and contributions of Americans with roots in Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Be able to look out on social media to see all the great things our schools are doing. Looking forward to seeing those. The first Let's Talk Forum of the year is taking place this coming Monday, September 29th, from 5:30 to 6:30 at Grovetown Middle School. This event is an important discussion designed for parents and families to discuss tough topics facing our youth today. As you know, we've done this for a couple of years now, and we're looking forward to continuing this. If you can't make Monday, we have another Let's Talk Forum that's set for November 17th from 5:30 to 6:30 at Evans Middle School. So thanks for everybody that's involved in putting that together. Very important topics, and we look forward to our community coming out for that. Mr. Chairman, that ends the topics that I have on the list. Unless you have any other questions, we'll need an executive session this evening.
I'd like to make a motion that we retire to executive session to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters.
All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this time we'll recess while the board goes into executive session.
To make a motion that the chairman be directed to execute an affidavit in accordance with state law affirming that no subject was discussed during executive session to violate the open meetings law of the state of Georgia.
All in favor?
I'd like to make a motion that the personnel sheet as discussed in executive session be approved.
All in favor, raise your hand. Personnel sheet is approved, thank you.
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, please raise your hand. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.